Hello everyone, Christina here. Welcome to another live stream here at my YouTube channel. I'm glad to have you here. We're gonna have a lot of fun tonight with some paste from Altenew, but I do have a few things I wanted to share with you or whatever before we get into the actual, embossing folders with paste. So the first thing I want to let you guys know about, and I can't believe I didn't talk about it on a live here until now, but I am going to be teaching at an in-person event with Mama Elephant in February of next year. And registration is open right now and there are spots available. It's going to be in Southern California. So you can count on beautiful weather and lots of fun, nice, crafty friends to meet. I did talk with one of my members here at YouTube. We had our monthly Zoom call on Friday. And some people have been concerned about not knowing anyone at these events. That's the beautiful thing about going to in-person events is you might not come with any friends, but you will leave with many. It's one of those types of events where you're going to be crafting all throughout the day and it's just going to be a lot of fun. I believe it's in Santa Ana. So, I mean, if you want to make like a real trip of it, you could go to Disneyland. I don't know if I will do that or not because I'll be very focused on teaching. So I probably won't want to spend any time at Disney before I go to the event, but you definitely could. It's in kind of the same area. So there's a link down below for all the information for you to check out. I also wanted to just show you a card I made for a Mama Elephant Instagram hop last week on Wednesday. This is the card that I made. I was at Jennifer's house when I made it, so I did not video it, but it was a lot of fun. And I tried a technique that I'd seen online where you cut out the image that you want to pop up on your card, and then you paint the white edge of the image the same color as the background. So it sort of kind of fades into the background. So I thought that was kind of a fun technique that I want to share with you all. And then the stripes in the background, I used Lumberjack Plaid Distress ink, like re-inker, so it was really intense to paint the watercolor background. I did a more watered down version on the bottom part, but the stripes were painted in a color from Yuli Watercolors. Let me grab it. I believe it was Apple. This is my little Christmas palette. This is the one. It's my favorite. Yeah, Christmas Apple. It's their apple color. So that's what the stripes are. So I just thought it was so fun. It really did kind of look like gift wrap or wrapping paper or wallpaper, I mean. I just thought that was really fun. So I wanted to share that card with you all before we move on. Okay, one more other thing. During that Zoom call with my members last week, I took a cup, remember these stenciled backgrounds that I shared with you last week? Hold on, let me adjust the brightness on them. Yeah, it just felt like it was a little too bright. There we go. I made these backgrounds with you live last Monday, and I couldn't get it out of my head. Like, what would it look like if I applied a glitter paste on top? And so when I got home, I was on a Zoom call, and I thought, I'm just going to try it. I'm going to try it. And then I had to wait for it to dry, right? So here is that third background. It was one of my favorites. I covered it in glitter paste. Isn't that fun? So it actually goes like this. Ta-da. There's the background. I've already cut it apart because I thought we'd quickly make two cards here before we get into the Altenew paste because I just think it's so fun. So down in the video description in the supplies, I've included this stencil, which is in stock at Simon Says Stamp. It's out of stock at Concord and Ninth, but Simon still has it. So if you were waiting to get your hands on this stencil, Simon has it. Now, I was worried when I was doing the glitter paste on top. In fact, let me show you the glitter paste that I used. It is Brutus Monroe Glitter Glaze in Fallen Snow. It's a clear glitter glaze paste. And I was concerned because the Concord and Ninth inks do react with water. Like you could watercolor with them. They're really great to watercolor with. I was concerned that adding a wet paste on top would cause the ink to bleed. And it really didn't. This right here that you're seeing, that was from when I was stenciling and the stencil lift because I was being a little too aggressive. So I'm just kind of fixing that area with a white gel pen. It'll make it so it's not quite as obvious. There was a little bit of, what's the word? Like when I was adding the glitter paste, some of the color, like you can see there's a little bit of a purple little line right here, just in that one area. I don't think the colors bled in any other area. And I was trying to be quick about it, but isn't that so gorgeous? Oh, I forgot. I need to clean it up right here too. I just thought it was just amazing to have this whole background out of glitter. I love the stencil set. Look at this. It's just so pretty. It looks like you used a bunch of glitter paste for each one of those stencils, for all the layers. I just thought it was so fun. If you're wondering about the colors on this one, I believe we did poppy. No. We did wild berry, sweet pea, plum berry. Was that Oceanside? It was, I think it was either Oceanside. Yeah, it looks like Oceanside to me. Oceanside and then fig? Was it fig? It may have been. You know what? I don't even remember. I'd have to go back and look at the live. But let's turn these into cards really, really quick. I'm going to do kind of the same card design on this. We're just going to put a really simple die cut greeting on top. We're not going to like reinvent the wheel. We're going to let those really pretty glitter backgrounds take center stage. So I do want to use a really strong adhesive for these because with the glitter paste, they did get a tiny bit warped. Just a tiny bit. So I'm going to take this Altenew, I think it's ultra wide, or is it ultra sticky wide tape? It's an inch wide. And I'm just going to put this around the outer edge so that when I adhere it to my card base, it'll all stick down. It'll be really good. I like to do this with kind of warped backgrounds. My other trick for using warped backgrounds, like if it's a watercolor paper or something, is cut it to be a little bit smaller than your card size and then put foam adhesive on it. Like prop it up on foam. Maybe I'll do that with this other background over here because the foam tape will give it a little bit more sturdiness, a little bit more structure. And so when you adhere it to your card, a lot of the warping will go away. And I've also noticed that it kind of gives it, like the foam has a little bit of give to it. I just think it gives it a little bit more structure, and I've had really good luck doing it that way. I think this is going to overlap a little bit. I've got to cut that off. There we go. Okay, so maybe let's cut down this other one so it's just a little bit smaller. Oh my word, this like sticky tape is sticking to my fingers and it won't come off in the trash. Okay, there we go. Let's cut down this other one and we'll put it on foam because why not, right? All right, I'm just going to take a little bit off. You know what? I'll do this side. You know what? I want to use a trimmer where I can actually see the measurements. So I'm going to switch to my other trimmer. I like my mini trimmer, but this bigger one is a little bit easier for me to see measurements. There we go. Okay. I'll just take off 1/2 inch on each side. And that'll give us a 1/4 inch around. I feel better about that. And now we'll put it on some foam and you can see the other option. So I have some 1-inch foam tape and I'll just put that on the back. Super easy. Carrie says, I have Gina's Sparkle Gel in Starlight. Could I substitute that to replace Brutus Monroe's product? You know, I'm not familiar with that specific color, but if it is a clear gel, a clear paste, you absolutely could. What I would recommend is do a little test, you know, like maybe you could even just, you know, smear some of your ink pad onto a piece of cardstock and then just cover it in paste. You want kind of a thin coating. You don't want it too thick. And then let it dry and see if, you know, you have any bleeding or anything. But I would guess you probably are able to do that, because that seems like a technique that Gina probably has shown. Yeah, you'll want to do a test, because I remember I tried this Stardust Butter in Opalescent from the Crafter's Workshop, and I was hoping it was clear enough that the colors would show through, but it really wasn't. It really muted all the colors back. So I would say just do a test if you're unsure. Okay, hey Dana. All right, so for anyone who's just popping in, this is actually a background that I started last week on my live. I was visiting Jennifer in her home, and I made the background, and then I added glitter paste on it when I got home, and I just wanted to follow up with you all and share some finished cards with you. Oh, I'm about to put it on backwards. Good thing I noticed where the fold was. Okay, I'm seeing little bits of glitter. I'm thinking it's coming off from where I cut it. So, mental note, you might want to cut your piece down before adding the glitter paste. Okay, so we have that one. And then this one has that Altenew really strong adhesive on the back. I cannot lift that with my nail. There we go. And hopefully it will get really flat once it's on the card base. No spiders nearby, thankfully. I have seen a couple spiders in my own craft room. Thankfully, they were very small. And I want to say I saw one when I was live. Did that happen? I'm vaguely remembering that happening. Yes, as soon as I have these cards made, then we're going to get into the playing with Altenew paste. And I've done some prep work for that too, and I'm excited to peel them off the embossing folders. It's not sticking, sorry. I didn't press down hard enough when I did it. Okay, here we go. By the way, when I designed this stencil and I knew you could cut them in half, I purposely made this tree right in the center. So that is on purpose. Okay, so I'm really pressing down all around those edges. And I think it really did flatten it out quite a bit. I think if I was being really particular, I might even run it through my die cutting machine one more time. Well, it hasn't been through at all, but I would run it through once and it would really flatten everything out, but I'm not going to worry about it for now. So I'm now going to take my Peace, Love, Joy frames, and I thought I would just do Peace and Joy, and I would do one for each. And I picked out some scraps of Plumberry and Wildberry, and then white. So we should be able to cut most of these all in one go. Oh, I love it. Betsy says she's already made use of that center tree. I think I saw your card online. Could be wrong, but I think I did. All right, I'm going to put this on my die cutting sandwich, and we want, let's see, this is going to be the white, so we want the word. So we'll do Peace and Joy. And these are pretty intricate. I've noticed I get a better cut on very intricate dies if I have it cut into the clear plate. So I'm going to have this one cut into the clear plate. And I'll just run this through real quick. You know what? I'm almost thinking it might be better if I have it on adhesive backed cardstock. And I do have a bunch of Altenew double-sided adhesive that I could just put on the back of this. So I'm just going to grab that. Let's see, is that big enough? That's totally big enough. I just have a little scrap, just like that. Okay. And then I won't have to worry about having to put glue on these itty bitty words. I think it will just work really well in the long run. Okay, so then I'll just put that right there. We'll run this through my die cutting machine. And my die cutting machine is not turning on. It's not plugged in. I don't know who unplugged it. Weird. All right, well, it's plugged in now. Okay. Oh, these are going to be great. They cut beautifully. All right, I'm just going to set these aside until we have our other pieces ready. All right, so I think I'll have the, let's see, I think the piece will fit great over here. The joy, maybe the, I don't know, because it would cover up a big portion. We'll do the piece over here. Let's do that in Wildberry. And then we'll do the joy right here in Plumberry. All the berries. All the berries. Fred did it. Fred unplugged it. And Kevin unplugged it. I'm not sure. I don't think I've needed to use my die cutting machine since I got back from visiting Jennifer. So it probably happened while I was gone, I would assume. Okay, we've got those pieces ready to go. So let's glue them together. Or actually, I don't need to glue them because they already have adhesive on the back. But here we go. Oh, I've got to poke them out first, though. Scrappy Cat says, I would always suspect cats. I love that. Never noticed with this Pink Fresh tool, I think this is a Pink Fresh one, it actually doesn't have a sharp pointy end. It's like a rounded tip, which I find interesting. Okay, so I have the frame. I'll just put this down. Okay. And then I'm hoping I can get the negative area out. Where's my regular pokey tool? There it is. Oh, look at that. It all came out in one piece. That's perfect. So maybe I'll remove the backing on just the joy part. And then we can pop it in just the perfect spot. It'll stay positioned. Oh, the whole thing wants to pop out. That's okay. Because I want to just place this in just long enough to be there that I can place in the actual word. It just makes placement easier if you do it like this. So now I'll place this one in. Press really hard. And then I can use my tweezers to pop out that negative, and now we have it in the perfect spot. Lovely. So now I'm just going to do that for piece as well. So there's that joy. In fact, I can zoom in a little. Oh, zoom in, not out. Zoom in. Okay. All right, let's remove the frame. Makes me wonder if I could actually remove the backer on just the words here, and then I can just place it all at the same time. That would be nice, wouldn't it? I don't think that's going to work. All right, there's the little frame first. Let's place that down. Okay. And I'll pop this center area out. might be able to get the word out before. There we go. So I'll just place that in. It has the backer on it, so it's not going to stick. And then I'll take the backer off the actual word. We can place it in. So if you just want to glue it in, you would do the same thing. You would just use the negative area around it. Okay. Press that in really hard. And then I can just pop this one up. So easy. Okay, let's put some foam adhesive on the back of these little gratings. I think just one strip of adhesive of this foam tape will work. We'll just pop these up on the cards. Super fast and easy. It makes me feel like, oh, you've just completed these 2 cards in, 15 minutes, but really, I did the stenciling another day, did the glitter paste another day, like there were lots. Okay, so maybe we want, I think I just want to put it down here at the bottom. Kind of like over where the trunk would be on the tree. And then this one, I'm thinking we'll just put that up there because I really like that candy cane. I don't want to cover it up. So then we'll put this one up here. Love it. All right, so both cards are finished. That was easy. So once again, this was the Holiday Icon Stencil. There's a link down in the video description, or you can just go to the complete supply list. And I have the stencil listed there, as well as the embossing paste, or the glitter glaze that I use. It's the Fallen Snow glitter glaze from Brutus Monroe. And I don't think I listed this because I was still deciding what I wanted to do, but I'll add that after the fact. Okay, so when I was on my Zoom call with my members here at YouTube on Friday, I believe it was Linda. I hope Linda's here in the chat tonight. She, I was showing that I bought all these Altenew relief pastes, and she said, have you seen Nikki from Nikki Hearts Cards use the paste on embossing folders? And I was like, what? Turns out you can smear the paste on the inside of an embossing folder, just on one side, let it dry overnight, and then peel it off the next morning. So I tried it that night on the Zoom call. I had to wait for it to dry, and then I peeled it off, and this is what it looked like. It's like this really plastic, kind of malleable design. This is an embossing folder from Spellbinders and Simon Hurley, by the way. I can't remember what it's called, Snowflake something, like Snowflake Magic or something like that. But I was just taken aback by this. Such a fun technique. Make sure you check out Nikki's video that's down in the video description. Like when we're done here, hop over to her video and take a look. She's got some really good techniques that's, even beyond what I'm going to show you. But I wanted to let you guys know where this, where I heard about this from. Okay, so what I did was I then created, I think I have seven other examples of this paste, and we're going to peel it up right now. So I do have a video with showing the, let me see if I can do this. I'm trying to figure out how I can, okay. Oh, here we go. No, that's not going to work. I have some video from when I was putting the paste on that I wanted to show you guys. So let me find this really quick here. Oh, here we go. All right, so here's that relief paste. You just smear it on the embossing folder. I sped up this video just a little bit. So yeah. And you smear it on, and then you don't even have to have it go edge to edge. You can have really organic edges. And then, you know, here you go. That's perfect. You know, like you just let it dry and then you can peel it up. So I just did a bunch of these. I had it kind of like scrape off the edge. We're going to see what this one turns out. I only did the one edge, and then hopefully it's going to turn out really cool. Okay, I think we're about done here. All right, so now we're back to what I'm going to show you now. Like, it kind of sticks to my glass mat here. It's kind of fun. It's very satisfying to peel. Linda says the peeling up is so satisfying. I agree. It is very satisfying. Okay, so and I have, like, to finish off these cards, I have some ideas on how we could finish them. So we'll see how it works out. Okay, we're going to start with this one right here. I've got some leaves that I did. This is an embossing folder from Simon Says Stamp. I tried to find it on their website and it's not there anymore. So I think it is no longer sold, but it's just leaves. I thought it'd be cool. So when you apply the relief paste, which, let me see if I can find this one. The one that I used is Mayan Gold. That's what this one is. You just smear it on thicker than you would think. Like, you want it to be pretty thick because when it dries down, it's actually going to flatten out quite a bit. And so you want to make sure that it has enough of the actual paste to really stay in one piece. This is not peeling up as well. Oh, here we go. I have to get started. Okay. You just have to get it started and then you can start to peel it up. And unless you have really thin spots, it really does stay together. But of course, if you have spots that start to stick, you can just, you know, go slow. I'm thinking sometimes with these like free edges, it might be a little bit harder to get the peel up started. I'm trying to just be really careful. There we go. So Linda did some experimenting for us, and she found out that for best results, use the Altenew Relief Paste. That other pastes tend to not work as well or not at all for this particular technique. So here we go. Look at that, peeled up everything, and then you're left with this. Oh my word. If you wanted to, you could take another paste and kind of go over the top and really accentuate all of that texture. But look at that. That's gorgeous. That is so pretty. So I thought I would finish off this card with some of these leaves. This is from my, oh my gosh, what is that bundle called? Is it just Autumn Leaves? Is that what it's called? I have to come over and like check my bin of products. I think it's just called Autumn Leaves. Thankful Leaves. Thankful Leaves, that's what it is. The Thankful Leaves bundle. So it's the one that has the stencil and the stamps in it, but then the dies have these 4 smaller dies. So that's what I did with these. These were ones that I created and just had them hanging around. So I thought this would be really fun just on a white card base. And then like have that free edge kind of showing. So I'll have to cut it off. And I can have some kind of leaves on top. Maybe like in a little tumbling fashion of some sort. And then just put like a really simple die cut greeting there. So we could even do one of these greetings. I think that'd be really pretty. Maybe like autumn greetings. So we'll just stamp a greeting real quick and die cut it. How about that? I'm thinking maybe like a brown ink. I think that could be really pretty. Let's get out my Misty. We'll do some brown ink. Carrie says she used Thankful Leaves last night, stamped and embossed it in gold. So pretty. I love that idea. All right, we'll do autumn greetings. Yeah, I think autumn greens will be good. I'll just do that on some white cardstock. That seems pretty easy. And I'll probably need to cut out, like stamp and cut out a few other gradings to finish off these cards tonight. So I will stamp that in the top corner to save space. Okay, a brown ink. Let's see here. You know what? Let's try, I haven't opened it up yet. It's a brand new ink pad from Sukaneko. This is the VersaFine Clair in Acorn. Let's use this one. Right, Scrappy Cat? Jennifer would love this. I was FaceTiming her earlier today and I was like, have you seen that technique with the embossing folders and the a relief paste? And she's like, is that the one that the Nikki Hart Cards did? Like she'd seen like a video on Instagram, I think. And so she was aware of it, but she hadn't tried it yet. So love it. That was a very juicy ink pad. That was a very juicy reading there. Hopefully it's going to dry so I can die cut it. I'm tempted to stamp that one more time and just be a little more careful with the ink, because normally I can get it a little bit sharper than that. Okay. That's better. It's not getting the bottom of the G though here. Oh, I'm just inking up the entire door of my Misty now. There we go. That double stamping made it thick like the first one I did, but I still think it's a little bit better than the first stamping, so we'll go with that. Okay. Where'd my stamp set go? Here we are. Okay. Then we just need the dies. So let's see. It looks like it's not that one. That's Thankful Gradings. It's got to be this one then. Yep, that's the one. All right, I'm going to hit this with my heat tool just a little bit, just because I'm afraid that pigment ink's not completely dry. All right, I'm just going to cut this out so I don't have to send the entire thing through my die cut machine. Wouldn't be that big of a deal, but all right. Put that through my Empress. Lovely. So now we have the grading. So I'll just put the dies back in my little storage pocket in with the rest of my bundle. And we're good to put the card together. So let's do this thing. We're going to be on our second card done, or third card, I guess you could say, done in 35 minutes. That'd be great. Okay, so as far as adhering this to the card base goes, I think you probably could use glue or like that same kind of tape I was using. I'm not too worried about the free edge or anything. I really just want to get it stuck down. So, because it's kind of plasticky. Like, I don't know that like most adhesives would stick. I guess we'll find out. It is very plasticky though. I'm hoping this ultra tacky or ultra, what is it? Ultra wide? I can't even remember. I'm hoping this will stick to it. Because if it'll stick to it, oh, it's good. It totally sticks to it. Oh yeah, we're totally good. hoping I can just leave that free edge without any adhesive and it won't be a problem. Okay. Oh yes, the ink I used was VersaFine Clair Acorn. Okay, here we go. I'm really pressing this down into this little plastic, I don't even know what to call this. Impression, texture, I don't even know. I don't know what to call it. Okay, I do want it to have that free edge. So I'm gonna press this down and then we'll just trim it on the other side. We can just use an X-Acto knife or a craft knife. I'm gonna grab my, is it Tim Holtz ruler? Yeah, the Tim Holtz ruler. And then we'll just get all of that excess off. Except I don't want to be cutting on my glass mat. I'm learning because it leaves marks. So I have this like portable foldable cutting mat from Altenew, and I just keep it folded so it's a little smaller. And this should, I'm assuming it'll cut pretty easy. Maybe not. Oh wow, maybe I should just use scissors. Did that? Oh, it really doesn't want to cut. Let's use scissors. Oh yeah, that was easier with scissors. Okay. And I think that adhesive gave it a little bit more stability too. Like if you wanted to, you could save these little scraps and put them on something. Wow, that is super sticky. No wonder it's sticking to the card base. Okay. So we have that, and then we have Autumn Greetings. Oh, I love that so much. Like you could even just do that, call it a day. But I really love these colorful leaves. I think they'll be really fun. Maybe we'll just have them like this, and then this can be on top right there. I think that could be really pretty. All right, let's put some foam squares or foam dots on the back of these guys. Let's see if I've got some foam squares. I do, I have some back here. They're these little itty bitty ones. I wish they were a little bigger, but that's okay. In fact, you know what? I'll just use this. These are like narrow foam strips from scrapbook.com. I like the 2 millimeter thickness of all of their options. And we're once again finishing up the card, so I'll zoom in. There we go. Just getting some foam adhesive on the back of each one of these leaves. I'm not going to worry about the little tiny stem because I don't think it's really going to peel up or anything. I think it'll be okay. So that one was like right there. This one was down here. We'll rearrange them in a minute here. When I want to do like a kind of a thicker application of adhesive, I just like to peel up like 3 of them at a time, and I'll keep them together. So then I can just do this. It makes it really versatile. So the leaves, Pam's asking, what's that leaf? Are you asking about the leaf die cuts? The leaf dies that I used are from my Thankful Leaves bundle. the leaf embossing folder that I used for the relief paste from Altenew. Unfortunately, that is discontinued. It was an old embossing folder from Simon Says Stamp. All right, let's put that right there. Is it going to stick? Oh yeah, it totally sticks to the relief paste. We're good. I'm not entirely sure where I want to have this one. Kind of doubt the bottom, I think. What was used to make the gold embossed background? I joined late. I used Altenew relief paste. It's this stuff right here. Hang in there. I'm going to show you how I did it with another example here in a moment. Basically, you smear a thick coating of the relief paste onto an embossing folder. You let it dry overnight, and then you can peel it up from the embossing folder all in one piece. So we're gonna peel up some more of these in a minute. I've got lots to peel. I don't think I'm gonna finish them all into cards tonight. As fun as that would be, but here we are. Okay, so this Autumn Greetings, I think I'm just gonna have it be right there. I think that's really cute. So I'll put glue on this side and I'll put adhesive on this side. So I'll just put a little adhesive. I think that's about what I want. Yeah, perfect. Just because I want it to be the right height. Okay. So I'll take off the release paper off the 1/2. Then I'll grab a little bit of liquid glue. This white cardstock is Neenah Classic Crest Solar White 110 pound cardstock. The card base. The one that I stamped and die cut is actually the 80 pound because I still have lots of that. But I like a long time ago, I just had a bunch of card bases cut all at the same time from cutcardstock.com. Okay, so there's the first card all finished. Oh, that's so rich looking. Isn't that pretty? I love that so much. All right, third card for the night. Let's go on to another one where we can peel some stuff up. This one intrigued me, mostly by the embossing folder as well. And I think I looked up this embossing folder, and sadly, Spill Biters doesn't sell it anymore. But this is the 3D patchwork embossing folder. And look at this. I did the entire thing because I thought it'd be kind of fun that I could cut out the different segments and use them separately. So the paste, the shimmer paste that I used for this one, I think this is the Sea Burl. Yeah, Sea Burl. That's the name on this shimmer relief paste from Altenew. And I'm hoping this will peel up really nicely. And I've got some little die cuts to finish a card. Yeah, this peels up super easy. So I'm just gently lifting it up. And it comes up all in one piece. Oh my word. Look how pretty. I haven't tried it with any glitter paste, just the shimmer paste from Altenew. Look how pretty that is. Wow. I really like the free edge on that one. Okay, so I was thinking I would cut out this center area here. And as we discovered, it kind of works best with scissors. So I'll just cut along this line. It's kind of hard because it's very flexible. It's almost like cutting fabric. I'm trying to preserve that little bumped border. And I'll just cut all the way. Okay, so now I have this really pretty border to use if I wanted to do that. So pretty. I mostly just want this center area. Okay. So then I'll cut out, oh, dang it, I cut into this one. Oh well, I guess I'm going all the way. I guess I should have done the two sides first. Okay, so we have that up there. You probably also could put this in a paper trimmer, but this is working well just using scissors. Okay, one more. Okay, there's all these fun little textures that I could use on other cards, but this, stop it. I think it's gonna be so pretty. I think I'm gonna put it on a 5x7 card. Like it can go like right in the center with like a dramatic, or maybe I can even cut it down a little bit, like I'll just cut the top off. And then I have, this is from Longline Roses bundle. I use the stencils to color them. So here we go. Let's see what I can do with this. I could even maybe turn it on the 5x7 card base. I'm just playing with what I can do because I don't want to cover up that texture too much. But I also really want to use the flower. I guess I could have it coming down off the bottom. That's kind of nice. I could have it centered up there, having it come down off the bottom. I don't know how well that missing you fits though. Yeah, a rotary cutter probably would work great for cutting the relief paste stuff. I guess I could have the flower kind of cut off the side, or from that same like session when I did that, I have the other flower. I could bring that one in. Oh, okay. I could see that. I kind of almost feel like I want to have that bottom back on there so it just continues off the end of the card. Then we'd have that, and then this. And then we can really see a lot of that texture. I could also do a different sentiment. I don't have one that's prepared that would work. But I could also, I really like this because it really shows a lot of the texture. I could cut just a really small little sentiment to go on there. Let me see here. Do I have something that's small? Okay, I have, there might be something in this little pack over here. Okay, how about this? Just a little guy. And I believe that is from, oh my gosh, what is it from? I don't even know. I also have that one. These are all just like scraps of stuff that I've done like over the last year for my line. Just like random things. So happy for you. I like this as a paper hug. I like that one. Okay, let's do that. Let's adhere this, and I like this, and we'll just put this as a paper hug like in the bottom corner, and I'm going to cut it off so it's more rounded. Okay, I like that idea. We'll just do this. This embossing paste or shimmer relief paste in the color Sea Burl really goes well with like Juniper and Tide Pool from Concord and Ninth. I think it looks really well. Looks really good. Let's get this adhered down. Oh no, it's like really sticky. Okay, there we go. I'm very close to the edge. Mental note, be more careful, Christina. Don't let it stick all the way down before you can cut it. There we go. Okay. All right, so let's put this texture right in the center. I think we can probably do one more full card and then we'll just peel the rest of them. And I can just have them on hand for other projects. I think that'll be fun. Okay, so I just got to get this centered. Doesn't really give you much time to think. Go for it. All right, I'll use my paper trimmer just to even that up a little bit. It's actually more of like a 5x6 card. Maybe like 6 1/4 actually. No, it is pretty much 6. All right, I don't want to use that paper trimmer because I feel like my paper is moving. I'll come use the Tim Holtz rotary trimmer. I think that'll give me a more precise cut. Okay. Oh yeah, that was better. Oh, I kind of like the dimensions on this card. It's nice. It looks almost square, but not. It's pretty. Okay, and then we'll just adhere that like that. Oh, that's pretty just by itself without even a greeting on it. Like maybe I don't put a greeting on it and I wait until I have an occasion. Like, okay, here's a story for you. My husband and I went to a wedding reception on a Saturday, and before we were leaving the house, I was like frantically looking for a wedding card, like a congrats card. I'm like, are you kidding me? I don't have any. So I'm like, okay, mental note, make some congrats products. So then I will have a reason to make lots of cards, right? Because I would have to make them for samples, for an example for the product. So don't you worry, there's some congrats wedding products coming soon, I'm sure, because now I see the gaping hole in my product line. So I said to my husband, I'm like, well, I guess I could just take an existing card and like change the greeting on it. And I almost did that, but then we found one that works. But it made me think that like sometimes you just need some cards that don't have a greeting on them so you can add a greeting later. Do you guys find that to be true? Like just to have some on hand? Okay. And I've got some more foam right there. Yeah, I think if it was a wedding like stamp set or something, I'd probably have anniversary on there too. In fact, you know what? That sounds like the perfect products for like February, for Valentine's. That might be the perfect time to have it. I'm going to be designing my January release soon, so that would be the time to do it. Okay. All right, I think I will just keep no greeting on this card, and then I can like fill it in later. Oh, Teresa says she rarely puts a sentiment until she's ready to send it. Smart. What is Scrappy Cat trying? I've gotta like scroll up into chat. Oh, Nuvo drops. I don't know. I kind of think they might stick to the embossing folder a little too much. Okay, did I get all of my, nope, I didn't up in this top corner. I think the newer reps might stick to the embossing folder, but you could try it. I would do just a really, really small little area, and then, you know, if it doesn't work, then all you have to do is scrape it off. Okay. I like how this is kind of hugging the corner here. Okay, I want to put just a little underneath this right here because I think it needs just a little bit of foam to prop it up. Did I say foam? A little bit of foam to pop it up. I'll just put that on some tweezers. And then we'll move on to the next embossing folder. There we go. Okay, I love that. That turned out so pretty. Love that. Okay, let me get some of this out of the way. Just like putting all my stuff off to the side, saving it for later. Okay, so I was thinking ahead for like holiday cards when I was doing these embossing folders. So for this one, I even like laid this out like in the card design that I was thinking. And believe it or not, these are leftover die cuts that I've had in my craft room for a year. I did all of this testing with my very first release with Concord and Ninth, which was September 2024. And I had all of these die cuts left over. So I just held on to them. I'm like, I'm going to use them. I'm not going to get rid of them. I'm going to hold on to them. And here we are. We can use them. So I was thinking this one, but I thought maybe those gold leaves get lost. So maybe I would just do this one. And I could maybe swap out the berries with, because I still have some die cuts. I've got red berries in here that I could just put on there. I think, yeah, I probably do have enough red berries that I could just change them up on that. And then they'd be popped up a little bit. So why not? Seriously, it's like I kept everything. All right, let's get some berries on here. And then we'll peel up that. You think the green looks better, Andrea? I think I like the pop of red. I mean, I like the green, but I think I'd really miss the red. Like, there's like that red sparkle, you know? I don't know. What's Betsy saying? Oh, she loved that release. Yeah. It's still my favorite. Maybe it's because I had like lots of ideas in my head of things that I wanted to do, you know? There's also this one that's already ready to go with red and green. But I think it covers up too much of the embossing, the gold. No, you mean the green leaves of the red. Yeah, okay, cool. Cool. You had me questioning myself. I was like, what? Okay, let's get some of these berries out. I want to make sure I have enough of each of the berries. Because I could always grab the die cut and just cut out some more too, but let's just double check. We need one, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 of the dark. And then 4 of the poppy too. So poppy and cranberry. Perfect. All right, well, let's zoom in here. This is just like a whole crafty, just so much crafty excitement happening right here. Okay. And then I can just put a little dab of glue in each one of those. And we will modify the die cut. All right, so lighter ones going right here. And then the dark ones, I like that I don't have to think about it. It's the dark ones are already there. Okay, yeah. You can see a little green halo around it a little bit, but I don't think it's a big deal. I like the pop of red. All right, let's put this back in the little baggie. Who knows, I might still need them. You're saying this is the reason that justifies saving every scrap? Guess it does. You know, a year later, you're breaking it out, and you even have extra scraps to modify it. Okay, I'm thinking white card base. I think I did this for like a 5x7 card because I thought it would be like a nice size like that. All right, let's peel it up. Let's get the peel started. I do have a couple little spots of the paste that stuck around because it was away from things, but for the most part, everything is coming out. It is very satisfying. Okay, that is so pretty. This paste is the color Brass. So Altenew Relief Paste in Brass. That is so pretty. Oh my word. That's amazing. I love it. All right. So it's just going to go directly into the center of a 5x7 card. So it's going to have a really big border, kind of like the last card we did. Very dramatic. And then we just put those die cuts on top. And it's done. So fast. What card is this? The 5th card for the night? Like, which side am I putting adhesive on? It's this side. Okay. So if you have a bunch of like holiday themed embossing folders, I think you could totally just do like a whole marathon session with these pastes and then just go to town. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to cut this one in half. And then you can just have them all ready to go. Okay. I love all the details on this. That embossing folder was Retro Poinsettia from Creative Expressions. It's also discontinued, sadly, but you know, you could take that name and search online to see if anyone's selling theirs. Pam, I think you have time to create a card with that beautiful blue. Which one? We have what? I've got a couple more to peel up. Okay, so we have that one. There we go. And then I'll just do that, and then, or maybe we'll. How do I want to do this? I could do it this way too. Can you put that in the center? How do I want to do this? I could see that just in the center too, because then it doesn't cover up so much of the berries. Yeah, I think that's probably the better solution. We'll adhere them like this. I kind of like it in the center because then it shows all of that on the outer edge, which I love. Carrie says, can you use the one where you mix 3 colors of paste? We will get there. We'll get there. Okay, I think just like that. I think that's going to be perfect. So let's put some, oh gosh, I really just want to do just regular glue. Should we see how glue sticks to it? Let's see how glue sticks to it. Because I think I don't want to mess with it too much. All right, I'm going to put glue quite a bit all over this because I don't know where it's going to hit the raised areas of that embossed design. Okay, and it was kind of like, I'm trying to get that out of the way. It was kind of like this. I'll just stick this on top for a moment while I put glue on the back of this one, which I'm going to hold with tweezers. I'm like, where'd my tweezers go? Do a bunch of glue. Once again, because we don't know where it's going to hit those raised areas. Okay. Oh, it stuck great. No issues. Okay. I'll just... Oh my word, this die cut's coming off. There was a green one underneath. I didn't even realize. Well, it's green, y'all. I could also peel it up still. It's not dry. And I'll let that dry because I like the red. That's hilarious. I didn't even know it was there. Surprise! Can you imagine you send it to your recipient and then the greeting comes off the top and there's a new one underneath? And then they're like, sweet, I can use it for a card. That's hilarious. Okay. Yeah, magic trick. Cracks me up. I'm just going to let this dry, and then I can use the green one on something else. I can just put more adhesive on it. Movie magic, it's green. I'm like, what is happening? Why is this so thick, and why is it coming apart? Okay, I feel like I didn't get any glue underneath the stem. So I'm going to apply some glue. And I have this leftover cardstock from earlier, and I'll just use that as a little handle. And you can just apply glue to the bottom. I want it to stick down to the card base, even though it is popped up a little bit. E. Miller, me too. I like the really organic edges of this. I think it looks really neat. All right, so that is card 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's card 5 for the night. I think it's really pretty, and I need 5 million holiday cards, so I can't complain about that one. Okay. Okay, I have one more holiday card. Well, I have all the pieces for it, and it would come together really quickly, just like that one. But it's this. I was thinking we would just do those trees, but my little die cut tree is about to fall apart, so I might have to take that off just for, I think I'll like the spacing better anyway. But this die cut, these trees are from my Merry Trees bundle. And then the words here are from my, was it Merry Christmas Builder bundle? I think those will look all great together. And then maybe on like a, what color card base should it be? I think it'd be kind of pretty on like a, well, I got out some eucalyptus because I thought that might be neat. Now this one has a lot of like these edges and it's really thin. I don't know if this is going to peel up easy or not. I'm going to start, this has a little more thick area right here, so I'm going to start from over here and see if I can get the peeling started. I'm going to try to be really gentle with the edge. Because I mean, once I get it started, then it should come up pretty well, but I feel like I used a very thin application on this one. I'm not sure why. So I'm just trying to be really gentle as I start to peel it up. here we go. Very kind of organic edge over here. I don't think it's gonna pick up everything. Oh, it's so thin. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's so thin. This is like mental note. If you do this, make sure you have a really thick application. Like I can see my finger through it. It's so thin. But I really did want to like experiment, like see how far I could push this technique. I'm being really careful because it's so thin. You guys see how thin that is? It's crazy. I'm like trying to use the edge of my scissors. I'm afraid if I pull it too hard, it'll just tear. Very slowly, we'll get there. I guess I could also try peeling from the other side, but I think the other side's like really thin. Okay. I get this peeling. There we go. I mean, I don't mind the really thin organic edges. I just want to make sure I don't completely tear it in half. It is so thin. That's crazy. I think when I was applying this one, I really wanted to keep those organic edges all around. But I'm learning that like in order to peel up easily, you really need to have at least one side that is nice and thick, almost to use almost like a handle. Do you guys see my finger through that? That's crazy. The sound is also nerve-wracking. Yeah, I can imagine. It looks really, really cool on the other side though. I mean, I do want it to have an organic edge, and if it does tear, then that would be an organic edge. Like an irregular edge, you know what I'm saying? I didn't think it was this thin when I applied it. Once again, this embossing folder, I believe, is one that Spellbinders discontinued. It was an embossing folder of the month folder. I was in one of their monthly clubs for a bit there. Oh, here we go. We've almost got it. Almost. We're almost there. Okay, there's still some left on the folder, but that's a really cool edge. It looks like, I think this one was called Christmas Tile, the embossing folder. It really does look like one of those like metal ceiling tiles, right? So this is the silver embossing paste. Let me grab it. This is the silver embossing paste, or relief paste, I should say. Yes, tin ceiling tiles. I think that's what they were going for because, you know, they kind of named it that. But these that kind of stuck behind, you can just like scrape them off. It's like not a big deal. I'll do that. I'll deal with that later. Okay. So I was thinking, this is eucalyptus. What do you think? And then the trees. And then I can do Sending Joy for Christmas. I mean, obviously this would be cut down to a regular card, right? Oh, Carrie, that's a good reminder. The Spellbinders warehouse sale, is happening right now, ends tonight. Amazing deals on a lot of embossing folders. So if you wanted to try this technique, now is the time to get some embossing folders. Yeah, tin ceiling. I'm going to cut this down. Okay, it looks to me like, well, let's see what size would be best with this. If we're going to do an A2 card, do we like the sizing on an A2 card? Or do we want like the extra space on a 5x7? Ooh, I like the breathing room on a 5x7. Let's do 5x7. All right, so I'm gonna cut down my eucalyptus cardstock to 5x7. I rarely use colored cardstock for a card base. I like to, cut that up and I'll just put it on top of the white. Then it makes it easier for it's, a little more legible on the inside of the card as well. You don't have to do white gel pen or whatever. You guys are saying darker background to pop. Hold on, let's see this. I'm not opposed to a darker background. If I was going to do a darker background, I would maybe do like navy or like evergreen. I don't know. This is more of a mixed media type product. It kind of is, right? Let's try, I really do like navy. Or Conqueror Night calls it midnight. Let me see. Is this already cut to 5x7? It's not quite 5x7. Let me cut it down. It was close. Okay. The navy is very dramatic. I'm trying to decide if I like it. I think I want it a little bit smaller, so white shows. I don't know how much. Maybe like 3/4 of an inch off each side. So that would be 1.5 inches off in each direction. So it would be 3.5 by 5.5. Okay. So that would be in the center. Then we'd have this. Okay, yeah, I like that. Because this is really flat. So let's put this on foam adhesive. I placed a huge, massive Altenew order last week and it arrived today. I can't wait to open it. I ordered tons of cardstock. Like they have some, I think, kind of unusual colors of cardstock. And I really wanted to get some other ones. I think it's gonna be fun. Like for the holiday card series coming up, which by the way will start right before Halloween. That's kind of like when it's been starting for years and years. I'm going to save my eucalyptus cardstock that I cut for something else. Okay, here we go. Kind of get this centered as much as I can. Okay. And And then I think we'll, where that kind of stretched and it's bugging me. I'm just going to cut that. There we go. We'll put that adhesive that we've been using on the back of this, or that was the back actually. It was 1-inch foam tape. I actually bought it on Amazon a while back. I don't even know that it has a brand. Okay, that's probably enough adhesive to hold it down. Yeah, Cairo, I do like their color palettes over Altenew. They're really pretty. Okay. This adhesive is from Altenew, and I think it's called their Ultra. It's either Ultra Wide or Ultra Sticky. It might be Ultra Sticky. Okay, that looks like I just took the embossing paste and just like slapped it on there. It looks really cool, and it like lays really flat once you have it on there. I think it looks really neat. Okay, so then we're gonna put the trees right across. I love that. We'll put the trees, and then Sending Joy for Christmas. I'm gonna start by adhering the Christmas at the bottom because I want to get that. I want to get that adhered first, and then we can work up from there. Put that on some foam adhesive. We'll just put that kind of down here at the bottom. And we'll take the Sending Joy for and put some foam adhesive on that one. Okay, question. Did any of you watch The Diplomat on Netflix? I just finished season 2, which is good timing because season 3 comes out in like a month. Less than a month, actually. And I need someone to talk to about it. Because the way season 2 ended was so dramatic. Okay, and then for this one, I think I'll just put some foam adhesive on, like, up and down on the trees. Yes, so good. I watched the first season a while back, and I just hadn't watched the second season yet. So good. And I'm like, Allison Janney, oh, I love her. And then Bradley Whitford, he's going to be in season 3 as her husband. I'm so excited. I'm like, it's like the West Wing reunion. I love it. I just saw the trailer for the 3rd season. Scrappy Cat. It's about, gosh, it's kind of Carrie Russell of Felicity fame, or The Americans, that show too. She becomes the U.S. ambassador to Great Britain, or the UK. And you find out in the very first episode that they have like put her on a short list to be vice president. Like they say the vice president is going to be resigning, and they want her to become the vice president. And then there's this whole like mysterious plot with Russia and a ship, a British ship that is bombed. I mean, there's lots of intrigue going on. It's a little bit like a spy thriller, but not. It's good. You know what this needs? White stitch lines around the outside edge. Yes, Carrie, President Bartlett. I loved him. I feel like it just needs a little stitching. For some reason, the shape of this silver embossed piece makes me think it's like a map. I don't know. Yes, like how good Homeland was. Yep. Okay, I don't think I'm going to be able to finish cards for the other paste examples tonight, but let's peel the rest because we've got quite a few more to peel and we can see how they turned out. Okay, I like that. I think that turned out really cool. It's very organic. Okay, so that was card number 6 for the night. Let's peel the other ones. I've got 1, 2, 3 left that I need to peel. And we had a request to look at the one with the 3 colors. Those of you who are in my paid membership, we had a member live yesterday afternoon when I was prepping all of these. And here is the 3 color one that I did. And I had leftover paste on my palette knife, so I put one on just white cardstock. You can see how it dries on just white cardstock with all that shimmer. I mean, it's just gorgeous. So pretty. Okay, so let's peel this. It's another one that I think is going to be kind of thin. Oh, I don't know. Let's see if I can get this to work. Will I be able to do it from the corner? How can I start this? I think I'm going to start it from this top edge. And we'll just start peeling and see how much I can get up. It's kind of like once you get the edge started, it really does peel up quite easily. You just got to get it started. And I kind of like the mixture of the colors right here. So in this case, I might even use the back. Like technically we're seeing the back right now. Oh, the other side does look really cool though. Hold on. I need to get this edge free. There we go. Okay, that does look really cool. You can still see the texture on this side and it's a little shinier. I love like this organic edge over here on the purple. That's so pretty. There's more purple on this side. I think that turned out really cool. Oh yes, Carrie, thank you for the reminder. I'll ask Greg. That looks really cool. I think both sides look really cool. The side that was, you know, exposed to the air stayed shiny. Like you can see over here, this is shiny, but it goes a little bit matte when it's next to that plastic. So yeah, this one came up much better. It was a little thicker. Okay, let's try another one. So this one has a really, really thin edge coming down right here. So at that last embossing folder is in the supply list. And so is this star one. I think it's just called like Falling Stars or Starfall or something. It's from Simon Says Stamp. And oh, the colors of relief paste. This one was made using, I believe, this color, which is brass. So this was brass. And then the blue is Galactic Skies. It's the same color that's on this star one. And then the purple is Amethyst. So those are the colors that I used for this one. So Brass, Galactic Skies, and Amethyst. Sharon's asking, does it matter what side of the folder you use? I think it does. I think you'd get a different look depending on what side you use. For all of my examples, I use the side that has the indents, not the popped up side. Yeah. All right, let's try peeling this up. The way I applied this one, it's much thicker on this edge that I'm peeling up right now versus the opposite side, which kind of I wanted it to scrape off and kind of get lost. Okay, so I have a few little stragglers, but that turned out really cool. And I think it looks really neat on this side too, all this, the shiny side. But how pretty is that? All those stars popped up. It's a really unusual look. I think you could even take, like, I wonder if you could mix it. Like, oh, how cool would this be? You do the gold paste and you scrape it so it's completely, like, there's not any blue, so it's just in the stars. And then you put the blue over the top, and then you'd have all of the popped up stars be gold. That'd be cool. I'm going to try that. That sounds like a cool idea. You could do that and get like a different colored background. All right, one more. And you know I had to do it because it's my favorite embossing folder, Tufted, which is available over at Spellbinders. And this color is called Brown Moonstone. And I was thinking it was like a rose gold, but turns out they actually have a rose gold color. So this is not rose gold. I'm going to have to order the other ones. I only have the colors I've shown tonight. But I want to order the other ones because I want to know what they look like. Okay. I really want the one that's, I think it was just called Pearl. It's like a white. What they need is like a really sparkly red for Christmas. I'm always going to be advocating for more red. Okay. Okay, coming off nice and clean. Oh, this one's gorgeous. Look at that. Oh my word. Tufted has blown my mind again. Stop it. That is so pretty. I'm just going to tear this part off. That is gorgeous. And I really do love the opposite side. This is the side that's more indented, but it went really shiny. That's so pretty. How cute would it be to do like a baby girl card with this on the background, and then you have like some like baby type things on it? Wouldn't that be pretty? So cool. All right, so let's look at the finished cards for the night. We've got this one that had a silver kind of, I think this was like Christmas tile. I think that's what the design was from Spellbinders. Unfortunately, it's discontinued. Here's one that was made with the brass color. And then we've got one made out of the Sea Burl relief paste. Candace, it does look like satin. Yes, a satin tufted blanket. Carrie just suggested. I think that's true. So there's the Sea Burl. And then we've got this one using the Mayan gold with those leaves. Carol has a question. I will answer that in just a moment. And then I used some, like my finished pieces from last week that I added glitter paste to. So you can see those glitter, and it was like the same panel. I cut it down, but I finished those 2 cards too. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 cards tonight. Love that. Okay. Yes, it was asking about, Carol was asking if you can die cut it. I have not tried it myself, but I did see in Nikki's video that I've got down in the video description, like I got this idea. I was inspired by Nikki Hearts Cards, to use the relief paste in an embossing folder. And she does show that you can die cut it. She shows it with a die that has the center cut out. So if it was like a solid metal die, I think that would probably press into the paste and might flatten it out. I'm just guessing, I don't know. But if you want to just like cut out a heart or something, I'm pretty sure it would die cut really well. Yeah, I think it would work well. So, but you could just give that a try, like kind of experiment on your own. Maybe one that you don't like as much, you could give that a try, or, you know, you have lots of different things you can do with it. All right, well, let's finish up for the night. Do you guys have any other questions before I close up? If you ink the top, what kind of ink would you use? Pigment? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think you'd have to experiment. I want to say the dye inks might not stick to it. Pigment inks might. I don't know. I think that's a really good question. Let me scroll up and see if I can catch any other questions. Vicky says Sea Burl is my favorite. Yeah, like this color right here. It's really pretty. I like that one. Yeah, Carrie. Unfortunately, Altenew does not have a red face. They really need one. Okay, so down in the supplies, I listed the relief paste over at Altenew. They have like a bundle with the ones that I used tonight. I think that's the Elegant bundle. And then they have another one that's just like relief paste bundle, and it has, I think that one has 6 pastes, and then the bundle I have had 7. I think that's what it was. So there's a few different options, and they even have one that has all of the relief paste, like every color that they offer right now. They have a bundle, and I think it's marked down, and there is a percentage off if you use a code. So make sure you like click into the product so you can like see the color names or whatever. And I think up at the top by the title, it has like a percentage off if you use a code. So make sure you take advantage of that when you click through. Yeah, Cherry says kind of reminds you of foil except without the heavy shine. Yeah, it's kind of got like a matte finish to it. It's kind of really cool. All right, y'all, I will see you next week. Heads up, the live next week is going to be earlier in the day. We have a family thing here at the house on Monday night, so I can't be live during the middle of my family get together. So I'm going to go live earlier in the day. I think it's going to be like pretty early. I think it might be like 10 a.m. Mountain Time. So I watch for, I'll probably like schedule the live on Sunday, and then I'll be ready for Monday morning. So heads up, it's at a different time next week. Or if I don't have it early on Monday, it will be Tuesday night. Maybe Tuesday night's a better idea. I don't know. Does someone do a live Tuesday nights? Is that a Gina K release night or something? Oh, Carrie says tomorrow Gina's releases, her releases tomorrow, Tuesday. Did Gina go live on Tuesday nights? Is that when she goes live? If it is, then I will not be live on Tuesday night. But I might just do earlier on Monday. Watch for it. I'll let you guys know. All right. I will see you next week. That is the plan. I'll see you live. Thanks so much for joining me tonight, and I will see you next week. Thanks so much for watching, y'all. We'll see you next time.